as they were driving to dealerships on the trucks, the dealers were doing these market adjustment pricing, so charging you a premium to buy a vehicle. So it wasn't a buyer's market. But now inventory is stabilizing depending on the automaker, and MSRP is a thing again, and incentives are a thing again. So the prices are dropping, and it's becoming a buyer's market again as it pertains to price.
Well, if it's going to become a buyer's market, or at least a little bit better toward being a buyer's market, that means that the sellers of those cars, not necessarily for them. It actually could be a little bit harmful to them, and particularly the automakers themselves, right?
Yeah, well, instead of going and hitting a home run on every single deal, now we're going to have to do the volume game. We'll make the standard profit on every unit and try to push as many out as possible. The tough part is the lenders are tightening up. Us as Americans, our credit scores are dropping. Our credit utilization is increasing. So there's a lot of things that are working against us. I mean, the interest rates, the Fed just brought it up to 5.25, and then the lenders have to make money on interest because that's how they make their money, lending you money so you can have your car loan and have your monthly, your ridiculous car payment nowadays.
Well, watching this whole industry and the number of different wild changes and swings in the way that it operates, I can't imagine it's easy being in that business by any means. Getting the inventory to sell if you're a car seller, and B, getting the pieces to make a car, because there are so many. I don't know how many pieces are in a car, hundreds of thousands probably when you get right down to it. It really, really is a difficult proposition. If you're getting into that business, you had better have a long-term outlook, right?
Yes, the auto business, car business, power sports, marine, RV, any of these dealership businesses, it's not for the weak-minded. You better be prepared to work and work hard if you're going to be a success in this business. And luckily, most of the time we are. This COVID was able to actually drive out some of the unmotivated people out of the business, and the motivated ones have survived. So I have no doubt that no matter what the market, then we're going to find a way to figure it out and serve the consumers as best as they need.
Art, explain this to me. When the pandemic hit, and we were not able to get the chips that we needed, and we heard about tens of thousands of cars that were sitting in manufacturers' facilities and parking lots and not able to be completed. They sat there for all of that time, undriven cars, brand new cars that were undriven, and meanwhile, the inventory just keeps piling up, and they keep making cars. What happened with those cars that sat around and weren't completed, the 2019s, the 2020s, the 2021s, and even some of the 22s? Do they go on the market now as their model year? Do they get updated in some way? How's that whole thing working out?
So that part I'm not an expert in, but I do know that a lot of those units did get put out. They just got sold at different prices and removed some of the capabilities, because a lot of those chips, they controlled like the cruise control, the lane staying, a bunch of different extras that these units have on them nowadays. Mm-hmm. And they were still able to be sold, and I know some of them, you could go back and get things installed, and some of them were just sold as is. But I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly where everything landed.
Yeah, but the bottom line is that now there's going to be a surplus of vehicles on the market, and so the auto industry, they'll make their adjustments and they'll do what needs to be done. But bring the EV part of the equation into this as well. Is that as affected as the cars that traditionally are gasoline burners?
I feel like it's already adjusting the way that the combustible engine market will eventually adjust. So EVs, you're already seeing prices being cut on those. And, there's even more incentive to buy those because now they're more affordable. And then you still get to do your tax write-offs, your credits that the government is allowing. And then depending on what state you're in, you might have, more incentives. So the EV market, I think, is just being affected earlier, but I really don't feel like it's going anywhere. But it's doing right now. The price slashing and the availability and the extended finance terms and the lower values, that's going to be what happens to what we call the ICE vehicles, internal combustible engine vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've been talking about new cars. We know that when the pandemic hit, the price of pre-owned or used vehicles, it shot way up, and there were really, really incredible prices being asked for those vehicles. How does all of this affect the used vehicle market?
So the used vehicle market isn't quite there yet as far as lowering the prices and stuff like that. So it is happening, but used cars are still in demand. So dealers are having to pay more for them at auction. They're having to pay more for them at trade-in scenarios. They're buying them from, the public. They're becoming like Kelley Blue Book buy centers, or, different companies offer these buy center deals. So they're trying to collect this inventory off of the streets in non-traditional manner because of, availability. So they're having to adjust.
Art is not only an automotive industry expert, he's also the author of a book called Driving Success. Tell me about the book.
So the book is for car dealers. So in my business, American Auto Protection, car dealers are my clients. And Driving Success is about reinsurance, which is like a 401k on steroids when it comes to, a car dealer's retirement plan. It helps them have ownership of the warranty programs and tire and wheel programs that they sell in the F&I office when you buy a vehicle.
I'm assuming that because you are so well known within the industry that auto dealers know about it. But for those who don't, what should they do? How do they get their hands on it?
It's on Amazon. Go search Driving Success and my name, Arturo Flores. It'll pop right up. You can order it. It gives you all the information on how to find us. American Auto Protection, you can find us on the internet, Google, Facebook, Instagram, all those places, LinkedIn.
All the big hitters.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Art. Well, you enjoy the weather there in Dallas today, and, put on the extra sun protection, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.